Obviously, we're here because of Naomi and Ian. 25 years. Listen, this means something. I mean, we all know Ian and Naomi for a number of years. I think we're all pretty close to both of them. And 25 years isn't anything to scoff at. Through bad times and good times. The good times are easy. It's the bad times that really find the depth of your relationship. And so 25 years is really something to be proud of. And we've all been there with you on the good times and the bad times. And I just want to say I love you guys, and happy to be a part of your world. Evelina, you included, of course. Okay. So I'd like to give a cheers to bride and the groom. 25 years later. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Do I drink now?
Cheers.
You have to drink now.
Yeah, just before your speech.
And does anybody have any stories they want to share? A doozy. Let's have a doozy.
Oh, doozies. That's a high bar.
Can I say where it's all started?
Let's hear it.
Was at the Good Earth Cafe, and we went to school together, but
that's
didn't really connect. And it was at the Good Earth Cafe downtown.
Yeah, so you.
Yeah, and she walked in, and we talked, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to this decidedly jazz dance works, or Studio West. Yeah, it was like jazz dance. Said, "Do you want to go?" And she said, "Yeah." And I remember stepping on her foot that night.
That sealed the deal.
And she was very funny about it. And I went, I like this gal. That's where it started.
Well, I'll tell you what I heard. I had been hanging out with Naomi, and there was a period after my first marriage, and there was a whole bunch of single girls, and we hung out together. And I remember on Valentine's Day, we all went bowling, and we were joking about a bunch of old ladies we were, that we were bowling on Valentine's Day because none of us had any dates. And went bowling and then went drinking beer, but we sort of hung out together because we all happened to be single. And then one day she phoned me and she said, I met a guy, and he's a Christian, which was pretty important. Yeah, I found it very touching.
Nice. All right, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is my wedding ring, by the way.
Oh.
I can't wear metal. It can't be next to my skin.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, any metal, silver, gold. It doesn't work. So that was it. Right?
What's your wedding ring?
Isn't it? It was a ring. It is a ring.
It was.
I'm not wearing it, but it's tucked away.
Anyone else?
Ian and Naomi, I can't imagine a better couple to be the second parents to my daughter Gracie, and to have a second daughter in Evelina.
Yeah.
I am really feeling so much the depth of our journey as parents together, and the privilege that it's been for Tom and I to share our parenthood journey with you, and to be right next to people that share really similar values to how we wanted to raise our kids, to have them be wild and free and full of imagination and creativity. It has touched me so deeply, and I'm just grateful for your presence.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that
Lovely
couple
for
of
that.
weeks I got to spend with Gracie too,
I know.
down the valley.
Exactly.
Just her and I,
Yeah.
floating
Yeah.
down the river, and she working for me during the
Yeah.
day, and
Yeah.
it was just really great because we were able to connect with nobody else, just her and I, right? So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wasn't Evelina there?
Yeah.
No. But I wasn't there for all of it.
No, exactly. It was
Yeah,
sometimes just crazy.
And and that's true. Like the two of you have given such opportunities and connections to my kids, obviously to your kids. To when we were climbing a couple of weeks ago, there's a young fellow that came by, and he was working at the Rocky at CCC, and he comes by and goes, "Hey, Ian, I just want to say thank you. You made a difference in my life. You took me under your wing, and I am who I am, and I love climbing because of your enthusiasm." And both the two of you, because you are the two, have created these and manifested such beautiful experiences for the people around you. Like, you touch people to the core. And that's beautiful. And that's you as two together for 25 years. It's nice.
For 25 more.
25 years.
Da, 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 da.
And I know we all have stories, right? Just trying to figure out what they are. And
Some of my favorite stories are with Yo and Ska.
Oh, yeah. Well, Evelina and I were just talking about that. Yeah. They're good memories. Well, Naomi's like a sister to me
Yeah.
and to Margot. See, I can't talk.
What I like.
But
is
I do
the-
remember the first time, I think Naomi and I were roommates at the time, and I was picking her up at the art college because you were still a student then. And I do remember the first time she mentioned Ian. And we were coming out of her classroom, and she said to me, "There's this really nice guy. We started chatting. He's in the hallway, but don't say anything." So I'm just you'll see him. He's just down there. And I kind of looked. He had the dark hair. So she said, "But we'll just walk past." So she was in front, and she kind of walked, and I kind of looked to the side, and Ian had his full long hair at that time, and a leather jacket is what I remember.
yeah.
And I went, "Oh,
Bad
yeah,
boy."
he's kind of like a good-looking guy." And then that was it. That was what I remember. And then after that, just unfolded so many stories. Party at your studio down, I think, when you lived in Ramsey.
Oh my
Remember
God.
that?
I remember
Yeah.
banana pancakes
Banana
for
pancake.
the boys at that studio, and they had the
Yeah.
chairs that spun around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those were from the McLeod store in Saskatoon. Those cafe stools.
Yeah.
I remember
Like
going
the
to
little
that party
button
with
ones?
Dale. It was one
Yeah,
of
the
the
little
first
button
times
ones.
we've been out together to the party at the studio.
Engagement party, probably.
Yeah, and so my late husband, that was one of the first times that he met you guys.
I was looking at photographs because I'm going through all my archives now. It's like, okay, I've got to go through all this photo. I haven't looked at any of my photo for like 10 years. It's like, okay, let's look through it. So I was looking at all these photos, and I ran across some of the photographs of your kids, and they're in that box. Remember that big chest? And
Yeah.
these little kids, right?
I know.
Here's little James and
Yeah.
little Matt, and James and I are friends now, and I helped them become a climber and all of that.
Well, and I laughed when we had a text conversation earlier this week. I found some pictures from your wedding, but they were random pictures, but there were ones of the boys, and I think it might have been with your nieces, and they're climbing on this big monument. And I remember as a mom being a little freaked because they're up so high, and Ian, you text back and you made some comment about it was the beginning of James's climbing career, and duly influenced by you.
Yeah.
That's why he's a climber, is you were a beautiful mentor.
I have to say this too, that if you look around the room to all these people that have known Evelina or Naomi for so many years, and all the relationships, it's not like people that we've known here for like a year or 2 years or 3 years. We're talking about people that we've known for decades.
There's centuries of friendship in this room.
Centuries.
Centuries. Absolutely. Centuries. When you,
Centuries. We've known each other for centuries.
when you add it all up, centuries.
It's a math comment.
Since the premier, first premier of Saskatchewan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I'm really, really happy I can still fit in the suit.
Anyways.
Well, to many more, congratulations, you guys.
I'll share this one story because it rings true even now. Sorry, Ann.
Yep, go for
I
it.
remember when we first started, parlaying on the phone. I get off the phone, I'm living with Yolanda, and I say to her, he talks too much.
And he's changed.
He understands the signals now.
Because they're so subtle.
I remember the one party she came, the first party she came to in my studio. And that was the night I thought I should just drink vodka, because I don't drink vodka, but I thought, let's drink vodka.
Oh, that's a
too.
good idea.
Not realizing that vodka is drink, drank, drunk, right?
Yeah.
And so finally at the end of the night, I just remember saying, I can't think of anything else to say that I won't slur except bye. And she told me later, as she's walked down the stairs, she's like, well, okay, at least he's a funny drunk.
I might add on to that, Ian. I have a memory of a party that we sometimes used to have at our house, and you guys of course were there in topless and in high heels.
What?
And,
What? Have a picture?
and that was Ian.
Was that one with the bra thing?
No, I don't think he that was the other one. It's just straight off.
How many people? 5?
It might have been the second time you did the vodka thing. I don't know. But
That was the second time.
and you touch people with that for sure, because even to this day, when people come over and haven't seen you in a while, like, oh, that's Ian. Oh, I remember that's from that party where.
Topless and in high
Do you
heels?
remember the party with Wally the Gator?
Oh yeah, I got that vividly. I gave you a copy of that.
Ian took a inflatable alligator, and we were at a
It's
party
funny
at
in
a
that
friend's.
we're at a friend's place. They had a
Yeah.
pool in Calgary. It's rare to actually have a pool, right? So the fun part about it is that all of a sudden this alligator comes out and all the girls are playing with the alligator, sun tanning on it and all the rest. And then Ian got a hold of it and
It deflated it.
Yeah.
deflated it pretty well. And all of a sudden everyone's like booing him and all the rest. And all of a sudden he vanishes for an hour. All of a sudden he comes out and he cut this thing. He skinned the thing. And he's wearing it in his hat. And I happen to have a camera at the time, and he's like got in this character of Wally the alligator, right? And it was the most wildest thing I've
Swing
ever
this alligator in the
Kind of
It's a mask
right.
on.
But the great thing is, it's on film.
Oh, we
I
should
do
see
have
this.
it. He's had a copy of it, but he's probably hidden it somewhere. I don't want to blackmail him with it yet. But
No,
we did our wedding though too, which is kind of
I
funny.
wanna
And that's going
see
back
that.
a long time ago too, as well, right? So it was.
What
way
did you do
before
with your wedding? You filmed it?
photographed
Oh, you
it.
photographed
Photographed
it.
it.
Yeah.
They photographed our wedding, mine and Gail's
nice.
wedding too.
Yeah.
You know,
In fact,
but
the best
it's always
picture, our
those
very
ways of how we
favorite picture
connect
was
and
the
those
one you
different
took.
little nodes we all have, writing different little stories, and that's the whole fun part about sharing.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different than this one getting into the film world now, right?
Yeah.
Which I kind of laugh about, right? But I lost track of Ian for 10 years because we got in the film business. The film business was nuts. And then you had a kid at the same time, and you lose connections, and you're trying to get, but we've all reconnected again, right? Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the whole thing about with everyone these days. We all got to figure ways how to connect and reach out, though. But hey, cheers to you guys.
Here,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was all from a period of my life where I looked at it and I realized I wasn't making any new friends. But I went like, I'm not making any new
I can't
real
believe you skinned
connections
it
but I look back and I'm like, what are those people that I actually lost connection with, other than there were no other reason than just he went that way and you went that way, right?
Oh, that's
There was
mostly the
nothing
case.
else, you're good friends, but then I just kind of drift apart.
Well,
And
we
Barry,
we
one of those
connected up
people,
a night. It
Yeah.
was our night gallery projects we were doing downtown with Dan Arms and rest of his soul. But it was kind of funny because we're doing it and you showed up at the party because I just reached out to everyone, right?
Mhm.
So I think I put some of your photos on the side of buildings and the Kim's was on there and a couple other people, right? But it was a way how to promote art in the city at night, right?
Cool.
So
I
we
do
were doing
remember
all these
when your
projections.
picture, Ian, made it to the billboard, and the billboard made it to the news column, Parker's news column, because it was the photo of the naked woman with the heart, the chocolate heart, the well-placed heart.
That was
And
controversial.
it was from Bernard Callebaut, and it was very.
Yeah, I know.
That was her.
So Parker's business card. Oh, this is pretty hot stuff.
It was Valentine's Day.
And then
Come on.
the commentary was,
It was
Yeah, I
great
remember
though. I mean,
this.
it was beautifully. It was tastefully done. There
But
was.
there was such
depending on the
controversy.
the
And I
branding
loved it
on the
because
eyes.
it's
yeah.
not good. It's not whether it's good or bad publicity. It's all publicity.
Oh no, it was fabulous. I remember reading that and saying, I know him. I didn't know it was you though.
Yeah, I was the art director.
I mean, I assumed that, but I
Yeah.
didn't know who the model was. But
Yeah,
I was
model
very
for
proud of that.
friend, right? So, yeah.
2 years ago, or maybe 3, she helped me out, but Grace moved to Toronto, that's our daughter, and we kind of went around and got her some things for the apartment and stopped at Mountain Equipment Co-op in Toronto. And when you said poster or picture, what do I see? Well, I know this guy. there's Ian Grohl on the Mech poster, sort of the history, and you were one
From
of the. Or
what 1980s?
I think it was the
Yeah.
store at the
That was the one
Croissant
that was on
Company.
Memorial.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
gone.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
anyway.
Temple now. Go
There's
figure.
Temple now.
No, it was the store before that, the one that was on
Probably way down on
10th,
On
12th.
11th.
12th or
It was
11th or
it was
something.
11th
Yeah.
Avenue, 12th
It was like
Avenue,
on the
11th
second
Avenue,
floor.
12th Avenue.
Yeah.
They went upstairs on
Yeah.
11th Avenue, downstairs on 12th Avenue, downstairs on 11th Avenue, back up to
Yeah.
12th Avenue on the upstairs. It was just the funniest,
Yeah.
you know. And then finally moved to Louise, right? So that's funny.
Or Halloween's, I don't know if you've had the pleasure, but if you have not,
Oh,
you have to go past the Batiak Grohl House on Halloween evening, because usually they put on a fantastic show. Ian is out with instruments, scaring the living daylights out of the kids with creepy music and an outfit that was
There was an
fantastic.
organ.
It started with a pump
So
organ.
good.
It started with a pump organ. It was at the thrift store, and I went in. It was $200, and then I went in again, and it was $80, and then I went in again, and it was a sign that said free. And then I went in one last time, and I looked at it, and they were like, that lady says, "Oh, we're throwing it in the garbage today," and I went, "You can't throw out the garbage! There's my vehicle!" So I took it and I put it on my front porch, and there it sat
Oh
for
my
like 2
God,
years.
yes it did.
At
And then it was in your garage.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
very
that's
much.
right.
And so it was that first year, I remember, it was like, okay, I've got this pump organ. I just put on the big hat and so on, and played the creepy music, and there were little kids that screamed and wouldn't even come up the stairs. They were terrified. And I went, oh, I'm on to something.
I was wondering now too.
You could give us a taste.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I
No,
think you
this
just
is
that
not a
organ,
pump
Ian,
organ.
and your costume.
Oh, yeah.
Always fantastic.
Yeah. This year it was fun because I just threw up a big, kind of clear, transparent parachute I had. And then had a light behind it, and then was just playing creepy guitar music with us on. So I could just pop, and then it'd be voices. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Those are good memories.
Well, thank you for my life.
I'll make sure you get Wally the alligator. It's too big a collection.
You have to make a film.
If you see the whole thing, it's a whole other insight into that man's head.
It's
pretty
just
wild.
in a plastic
There
alligator.
is footage or a photograph?
No, it's full video.
Oh, it's a video.
It's
I
full
want to
video.
see that. I
Yeah,
wanna
it's
see that.
pretty priceless though
I'll sign
because
up for
Yeah,
that.
I'd like to see
Um,
that.
we should.
I
I think I shall.
Email it. I'll
I
make sure everybody gets it.
I'll just make it go viral. I think that'd even be better.
Right. A YouTube.
I'll put it on a YouTube
Put it
channel.
on. Put it on. Yeah, actually, you put it on your YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
actually, that'd be funny.
You have a
Well, if you
YouTube
give it
channel?
to me, I'll do something with it.
It could be a garden party.
I put my
Show it like I
videos
can
on my
project it on
YouTube
something,
account,
right?
but
That'd
Deb's
be funny,
TV was
actually,
hooked
just
up to my
project it.
YouTube account, so she was watching all.
All we had.
Yeah.
The funniest
I
part
changed
too
providers.
is
I don't
the,
have it
the
anymore.
parts of
Damn
our
it.
life where I couldn't have had this party without Evelina, right? Because I mean, in many ways, the relationship in many ways is about creating the next generation too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Here, here.
So, you know, having that connection is so important. You know, having that connection to, you know, friends, kids too, right? It's like really important, right? We're there as their guide in a way. And it was you who said, you know, no, let's do this party. It's 25 years. Like, that's a significant mark. And I said, in today's age,
As long as he doesn't.
that really can be a guide for people. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can get there. You just have to just be willing to stay there, like, and
Work.
understand that.
You work.
Some days are really good, and some days are really bad, and
Yeah.
some days are in between. And like my dad always said, it's about having somebody to do all the mundane things with,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what life is a lot of time, just those mundane things. But you get to do it with
Yep.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody you love, right? So it's then those mundane things still mean something, right? They're important.
Yeah.
He's gonna eat
Those
pants.
dinners you make, right?
Yeah. The day in, day out.
Yeah.
Day- yeah.
Dan, yeah.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thanks for hosting this.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Gathering.
being you.
Congrats.